So it looks like the hangout's on here, and at the moment we've got nobody in. So I will share it on Twitter while I get the opportunity. Because tonight's special guest is B.T.D.
Hello.
And I do not know anything about B.T.D. I've seen him in a few chats. I've seen him in the hashtag I am a creator community. Hello, Crimson Fantasy. Hello, Jeanette Pickering. So we've got 4 watching, Brad.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So, Brad, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
I can indeed. So I have a YouTube channel named B.T.D. You can easily find me by typing in the official B.T.D. And it's all about reaction videos, to be honest with you. Voicing my own opinions and just getting some laughs, really, to be honest with you. I started my channel 10 years ago, and I did it to heavily focus around editing, because before I was doing YouTube videos, I was doing some work at the BBC for a bit. And that's really what started off my editing career. And I thought, why not crack on with some YouTube videos? And now I'm here.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, Brad, how old are you?
22.
22. So 10 years you've been on YouTube editing. So you started at the age of 12.
Exactly. Wow. That.
That is remarkable then, you know.
Yep.
So when you, because I know that since you joined the hashtag I am a creator community, your channel has grown to over 1,000 subscribers now.
It has indeed.
So before you joined the community, how many subscribers did you have?
I had 169.
So in what, about 5 months, is it 5 or 6 months since you've been with the hashtag?
I got 1K in about 3 months being with that hashtag. Yeah.
Wow, remarkable then. So I'm going to ask you what your opinion is of the hashtag I am a creator community first.
Yeah, sure, no worries. That's quite a common question. So I actually co-host the show with James and Vern. I do a lot of the sort of behind the scenes stuff. So that's going to be the technical issues. Anyone who's experiencing any problems with getting on for their 5 minutes of fame. I think it's a great opportunity for people to advertise their channel. I don't think there's many things out there that allows people to have those sorts of tools. And obviously, if you're interested in supporting one another, it's an entirely up, it's a personal decision. A lot of people say sub for sub a lot. Yeah. But the way I see it is we know what it's about. We know why we do it. And we know how to do it. But unfortunately, we can't control what everyone does. There's a lot of people who are in that community now. We can't control everything that they do. But one thing I will say is a lot of people know how to do it right. And when I say how to do it right, I mean, showing support, but doing it in a personal opinion way. So just to elaborate on that, we're not just saying, hey, support everyone because we want everyone to grow. We're saying, hey, support the channels you reckon you would watch, and if you're going to a channel that you think, not really for me, that's fine. Share it out. Maybe someone else likes it, Yeah. So it's not all just about supporting one another. It's about showing the fact that you care and just, sharing and things like that. And plus, I've met a lot of amazing people from there as well. Some of my closest friends actually are from that community. So it's nice.
Same with me, Brad. All right, I haven't grown as fast as you in the hashtag I am a creator community. I'm stuck now around the 2,106 to 1,000.
You're in a good position, man.
Yeah. So, I always join in on the thon nights as long as I can, because I'm a bit older than you, so I need sleep, because your 8 hours takes you till the early time in the mornings.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say hello to Crimson Fantasy, the Night Owl, the Donny Shaw Show, Jeanette Pickering, and whoever else is watching. At the moment, we've got 6 viewers. So how do you see the hashtag I am a creator community developing?
I mean, it's only getting bigger. We've obviously, because I do a lot of the background stuff, I see a lot of the analytics.
Yeah.
And it's all positive. The positives definitely overwhelm the negative by quite a dramatic amount. It's only getting bigger. We're always meeting new people. And it's going in a positive direction. And there are a few things behind the scenes that I can't actually talk about on here, but we're actually working on a few things that is massively going to help other people, not just with support, but with personal stuff as well.
Yeah.
I can't talk too much about it,
No,
but
I don't expect you to.
but we've got some external sources going on, and I can't wait to share that with everyone because it's a major project we've been working on. It's going to massively help people not only grow their channel, but grow themselves as an individual as well. So we're going in a good direction.
Yeah, because I think it's a fantastic community. Donny Shaw Show shared it on Twitter, like James and yourself always recommend, because the more viewers you get in, the better, the more publicity.
That is right.
The hashtag I am a creator community gets. And that's why I wanted to interview you, to find out more about you, about more of your job in the community as a moderator. And to get to know you as a person, because
no, that's absolutely fine. Any question whatsoever, you're more than welcome to ask. Same with the chat.
Because basically, I've seen you as a moderator. I've watched quite a lot of your videos today.
Thank you.
About 60%, because I do research on whoever I interview. I notice you started off as a big gaming channel.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So what type of games, I know from what I've viewed, what type of games do you enjoy playing? Xbox, PlayStation, or computer?
So I was a PC gamer. I've never really understood how to record from a console. So I didn't really necessarily go in that direction. I stuck with gaming for most of my YouTube career. And it was only because I was new to YouTube and I was sort of following the crowd, if that makes sense. And the more I got involved with it and the more I thought, you know what, this is actually a serious thing I want to get into, I started to work on myself as a person, start to be myself a little bit more and think, you know what do I actually want to do? And I've actually had recommendations to do reaction videos for about 2 to 3 years now. And it's only recently this year that I've started to do that. And it's been nothing but positive ever since I've started that. So gaming has definitely been a massive influence. I do like a lot of puzzle solving and things like that. But I'm happy with the direction I'm going in right now. Yeah,
brilliant. And because I mean, you have you got into doing more live streams on by yourself? Away from the thon side of things.
Yeah, I mean, how can I answer that? I know what I'm thinking. I don't personally do live streams myself. I've done maybe 1 or 2. I'm more of a fan of joining other people's live streams. I like to join other people on their live streams like this, for example. And the reason why is because I like it when someone else is in charge, because I don't have to worry about maintaining the show. You've got people like yourself and James and many other streamers that have been doing it for a long time now and know the structure. They know how to keep it going. They know how to keep the flow going. I don't know anything about that. So
you seem so at ease in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in front of a camera most of my life, to be honest with you. Again, with being at the BBC, you were always working with cameras. Before I was at the BBC, I studied videography at college. So it's something I've grew up with. Being in front of a camera doesn't bother me whatsoever. It's a normal thing to me, to be honest with you. Yeah,
because unlike you, I was always behind the camera. I started my own video filming business, commercially and weddings, in 1988. Cool. I carried in that business until I retired 8 years ago, because I'm 68 years of age now. And it's only been, the last year since I started working at my channel, because just over, 15, 16 months ago, I was like you, I had about 300 subscribers.
Yeah.
And built it up to 2K now.
Yeah, you're in a really good position.
Yeah, it's just that I don't seem to be. Well, I'm not really working at it now. I've taken a few months off. Hello, Juice My Randomness, and Ian Drones Gaming, and Darwin Droning, and Carolyn 12 Be Free, and Izzy Draws. So, welcome to the live stream of interviewing B.T.D, the moderator on hashtag I am a creator community.
There you go.
Which, the Night Owl, myself, and quite a few others in here have joined, because I joined, I think, about 6-7 months ago when James first started it. And I haven't looked back since. I think he's doing a wonderful job. He's had a few knocks on his way.
Yeah.
Certain people, but I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah, probably best not to.
Yeah, because hopefully I'm going to get Vern on my channel as well, and I've asked James, and James said yes once. So hopefully I'm going to get most of the moderators.
Get all 3 co-hosts on.
I'd like to get like Angel, Dominique, Hazel, Rory, and all those, because I mean I've seen them on the live streams, on the thons, but I don't really know them, because like the 5 minutes of fame, that you do. I don't think that's long enough. I think it should be one channel for half an hour, so people. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, trust me, I get that a lot. Like I say, I do a lot of the background stuff, and one of the main things that I do for that community is I organize the 5 minutes of fame. So whilst you guys are watching the phone, I've got my camera muted and my microphone muted, and I'm on Twitter getting the queue together. And the main thing I get all the time is we need longer than 5 minutes. And let me tell you, it's definitely something that we're working on. One thing that is very difficult when it comes to the thon is organizing the queue. And you never know when someone's ready, and you never know how long someone's going to be. And but we're definitely looking at extending the 5 minutes. Because it's a consistent thing we get, and I agree with it personally myself. Because we get about 80 to 90 plus people, and I think 5 minutes would be a little bit short for all, say, 80 or 90 people to get a full taste of what this person is actually capable of,
Yeah, agreed on that. The outdoors is in the house as well. Beauty on a budget. Juice My Randomness, Carl, welcome, and I hope you're going to stay with us as we find out more about Brad's job on the hashtag I am a creator community.
Have you had Donny Shaw on?
Yes, I've had Donny Shaw. Yeah.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
I've had most of them on in here, because I started my interviews just over about 14 months ago.
Okay.
And I've interviewed so far. You're the 58th person I've interviewed, because I only usually do them once a week.
Okay, fair enough.
Now there are channels out there like Pusa Studios. I don't know whether you.
I'm supporting them.
Yeah, so am I. And they do one nearly every night.
Yes, they do.
And they are very interesting people who they're on. I mean, I've been invited on, but because I was away when I was supposed to go on, I missed my slot. So
that's exactly what happened to me, actually.
So I'm hoping I'm going to get another slot on there.
Yeah, they're so busy there. They organize so much, don't they?
Yeah. But see, this is it. I mean, I think once a week or twice a week interviewing channels, because I mean, I spent like all day yesterday watching most of your videos, so I've got a rough idea of what type of creator you are.
Yeah.
Because that helps if you do the research on the channel, because I'm promoting your channel on my slot, and I'm hoping that this helps me because I'm hoping more hashtag I am a creator community.
Exactly that.
But I just wanted to get, asked you what you thought of, because the way the community's going, I think any donations, I mean, this is only my thoughts.
I think I know what you're going to say.
That all donations go into the community.
Yeah.
to help the community grow, you know, and then that way, those who want to make a living from the hashtag I am a creator community take a wage out of the rounded donations, you know. So,
Yeah.
so you've got a treasurer, a secretary, because like with you doing your job, you're like a secretary organising it all. Then get a treasurer. But I mean, that is only my opinion. So
Yeah.
I mean, whether you take any notice of that's up to you and James. And
well, you know what? I'm glad you actually brought that up. And the reason why is because, again, there is something very big that we are working on. And right now we're currently in the process, and this is the bit I can say, we're currently in the process of encouraging everyone to set up the PayPal.
Yeah.
Because we're moving into something that, again, is going to benefit everyone, and going by the donations and things like that. We're thinking of a system of how we can actually branch out those donations.
Yeah.
So that it's definitely all in the works, and trust me, that opinion is very common. We get that a lot as well. And you know, it's I've always said to James, and James has always said to me, the community wouldn't be what it is now if they weren't there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's all well and good us doing the background stuff, but there's no point doing the background stuff if there's no people to do it.
Yeah.
So we're consistently trying to figure out ways of how we can make it better for them. Because at the end of the day, if they're going to give to us, then we need to give back, you know?
Yeah.
So we've got some major ideas in the works, and donations is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you know, James, yourself, Ben, and all the other moderators, you put a lot of work into that community, so you should all be rewarded, you know, and that's the way to go, or similar to that, you know. So
yeah.
So that's just my thought. So I'm going to ask you now, because I interviewed Coach Eli the other week, and when he went from my channel after the interview, he had a go at, well, he didn't have a go at me personally, but he had a go at my channel because everybody who was in had a wrench.
Okay.
And Poosa Studio and 29 other channels that I follow, everybody in the live stream has a wrench. So I did have a disagreement with him. I didn't. The only thing I put in the chat was that he should have contacted me first, because that's his opinion, and then he could mention his opinion but not mention my channel. So it upset quite a lot of my supporters.
Yes.
The way he did it. But you know, and I noticed last night you was in his live stream.
Yes.
So how do you find Coach Eli's channel?
I have had
one of the main criticisers of the hashtag community. So
yes.
If you don't want to say anything, you're quite.
Oh no, honestly, it's like I said to you. You can ask me whatever you want, and I will answer whatever question you have. That's absolutely fine. It's like I said on Coach's stream yesterday. Again, this is a personal opinion, and I mentioned that on his stream. If someone has a problem with someone, it's always best to contact them privately. Because I think right now we live in, well, I wouldn't say we live in a world, but YouTube is very much driven by drama.
Yeah.
Quite recently so as well. I feel like things could be dealt with a little bit better. If someone has a problem with someone, it's always worth contacting them privately, and just being a little bit more mature, and saying, look, do you mind if we have a quick conversation? I'm not too keen on how you've gone about doing this. Is it something maybe we could speak about? Rather than say, hey, I'm going to go publicly. I'm going to give all of my opinions and not give this person a chance to say anything. You know, again, that's just an opinion. But being on Coach Eli's stream yesterday, I mean, one of the main reasons why I went on that stream was to show that my opinion isn't going to be forced by the community that I'm involved in. And let me tell you, these past 24 hours since I've been on that live stream has been difficult. I've had a lot of backlash. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of backlash. But one thing I will say is I don't regret going on the stream.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anyone there. I also don't have a problem with anyone in the hashtag I'm a creator community. I base my opinion on what I see, not by what a group follows. And James respects that as well. I've spoken to him privately, and he doesn't have a problem whatsoever, you know. People have disagreements. It's just called being human.
Yeah.
And I don't think that someone else's disagreement should shadow how I see something, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely had a good time on his stream. But at the same time, I'm still going to stick with the community that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, I met a lot of my close friends from there. But, you know, I'm not about causing drama.
No, nor am I, Brad. You know, that,
yeah.
You know, that was the only thing that upset me. But I didn't ask for my supporters to go and, you know, drop him or whatever, because he's got his opinions and that's it. And it's just that it was a way that he went around.
Exactly that. People are definitely entitled to their opinion, but how they go about it can definitely be done in a more, I guess, professional and adult way.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So I'm just going to welcome Equinox Photography Bristol in, Nick, The Good Cell Life, Daniel Vella, Baz Burton, and Tony Silvestro Collector. So I appreciate you all being in it. 21 watching at the present. And Brad, so what type of music do you like then?
So I am very much into dubstep. Because I'm quite a technical person, and I love how different types of sounds are combined together to make something that almost comes across as futuristic. I like that sort of setting. I like a lot of pop. I like a lot of R&B. I like relaxing music with the job that I'm into, let me tell you. And you know, I'm sort of an all-rounder type of person. You know, it depends what mood I'm in, but mainly dubstep.
So what do you do for relaxation then? When you're not on YouTube?
I go for walks. I go for walks quite a lot. Actually, it's the main thing. That is pretty much it. I just go for extremely long walks.
Yeah.
Like we're talking maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, Equinox, Nick, he's from Bristol. So
yeah, I know he is.
You know, do you follow him then at all?
I follow him. Yeah, I'm supporting his channel. And we recently spoke actually in your previous live stream.
Yeah.
And that was actually when I found out that he does actually live in Bristol, and he lives about 4 minutes away from my house.
Oh, so you should have a meet up, you two.
So yeah, he's quite local, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because he's recommended a channel that I've got to interview. What I forget what his name is now. He's only a small channel, but he used to work for Scottish TV, and he's a journalist, and he's producing a video on the Knights Templars. So I'm quite looking forward to that. But he's John Thompson or something like that, I think they call him. So we've got Love from the Bog in, Janet. We've got Foundation Aerial in, Brian. So we've got 20 still in, 12 likes, 1 dislike. So someone doesn't like me for some reason or other. I don't mind. I don't mind thumbs down. I appreciate everything, mate, because you can't please everybody. That's my attitude.
That's right.
So going back to your channel then, how do you see your channel growing within the next 5 years? Do you think you will be making a living just from YouTube?
That is the aim. But I think I'm in the same boat with a lot of people. We all care about our channels. You know, that I don't know anyone that has a YouTube channel that makes consistent videos that doesn't care.
Yeah.
So making a living from YouTube is definitely the outcome, and hopefully within about 5 years' time, myself and multiple other people would be there.
Yeah.
Things are just a little bit slow right now, because I'm focusing on other things. I've recently gone back to work after quite a long break.
Yeah.
So I need to focus that at the same time. I guess the situation I'm in right now is, I'm sure you can see, but my computer and setup is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I don't have my own place. That's my phone going off. Let me just quickly put that on silent. I need to make sure that that's not going to continue to go off, because that doesn't stop, let me tell you. So I'll just place it over there.
I was going to say, with the community, I bet it doesn't stop going.
Trust me, I wake up to about 80 to 90 notifications, and it's all people saying, check out this, can you support this, can you check out that? It's quite full on.
Yeah, well, you expect that a man in your position, but you're young enough to do that. I have a question for Brad, very important. This one is the red or blue side of Bristol. So are you the red side or the blue side? Rovers or City?
Yeah, I know. I'm City.
Oh, he's a Rovers supporter. He's the blue half. I thought he'd asked you that. So I'll ask your opinion now, Brad, of the England game.
Oh, God.
What do you think went wrong with the semi-final?
I think that as soon as we got that first goal, all they were doing was trying to stall. That's what it looked to me. And then as soon as obviously we were 1-1, that's when the panic started to get involved. And then we started to lose grips of it, and it just all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult to watch.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, because, I mean, I looked at the first 25, 30 minutes. We were definitely the better side.
Yes.
It's as I said to the wife, I says, we've missed 4 chances that we should have put away.
Exactly. Yeah, we had so many opportunities, and it was just completely wasted.
Yeah. And at that level, you have got to take your chances. And we didn't, so we paid the price.
Exactly.
Tony asks, I have a question for Brad as well as Eagle. So what is it, Tony? Kate's Family Vlogs has asked, what inspired you to come onto YouTube, Brad?
So there's multiple answers to that question, actually. I'm not going to go too much into the editing because we already know a little bit about that. It was confidence. I had no self-confidence whatsoever, and being in front of a camera definitely helps that. Also, it was dealing with feedback. I always thought that dealing with feedback is quite an important aspect in life. And obviously, when you upload something that you've created, people are going to comment on it and give you their opinion, whether it's good or bad. It's how you deal with it. So I did it mainly just to sort of improve myself as an individual, but also the creative side of things is a massive influence as well. So that's mainly the reason why I started.
Yeah, because the way I look at it, I mean, you have got to be, when you create a channel, you have got to take the good and the bad. I mean,
yes.
The only thing I don't, one of my dislikes, or should I say, is that when people make a comment, a lot of people say, brilliant, great, whatever, when really what I am interested in is the constructive criticism. Because if you get constructive criticism, you learn from it and you can improve. When you get told, oh, that's brilliant, or that's good, nice, or whatever, that doesn't really help you as a creator.
That's right.
So that's why, I'm all for people telling me and being honest and say, you can improve your filming techniques by doing this, that, and the other. Because even at my age, I still learn, and I've had all those years in the video filming business.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
So we've got Stephen Behrman in. I think that's the good, the bad, and then there's the clinically insane. Some people are so far off the rails. Yeah.
Trust me, if I told you what I've been going through in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, but really, when you look at that, just for going on somebody's live stream, that's the way you learn about other people's channels, isn't it?
Yes, it was. I didn't expect the backlash as much as what I did, but one thing I've always said, and I will stick by, is if you cannot accept negativity, then you definitely should not be on YouTube, because let me tell you, when you reach 1 million or 2 million or 5 million, not everyone's going to like you. You're going to get all sorts of comments.
Yeah, which you expect, because that is human nature, because people are jealous when people make it big. Or, you know, I mean, I've got a grandson who is a millionaire from playing poker. He's #1 in the UK. 3-4 years ago, he won 25 million. So, you know, and he gets knocks and everything, but you know, he carries on. He's 10 years older than you. He's 32, but you know, he set his goal at making a fortune, because from being a young lad, he was always watching the gaming machines in the pubs, and when he was old enough, he went in, put £1 in, and won the jackpot. You know, and he knew when it was going to fall, because he'd listened to the machines. And playing poker, he says, playing poker isn't chance. If you're good at bluffing and you watch the game, you can read people. And that's what he's good on, you know, and he's made a fantastic living on it. It's here on YouTube, I think, that you don't really have to be that good, because some people have got loads of subscribers and they aren't really what I term great creators.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that 100%, and I have a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
If I always look at, you know, I mean, there's some channels that I follow that have got 25,000 supporters, yet when they upload a video, they only get 100 views, but it's only because one of their videos in the past has gone viral that they've got the support, you know, because and that is a case for a lot of channels that I view. You think to yourself, well, how they got up to that type of support?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I almost think that seeing things like that definitely frustrates me. And obviously, you can't control whether a video goes viral or not. No. But if you're lucky enough to have one of your videos go viral, that's your chance to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And give people a reason to come back. And if you lose that opportunity, then unfortunately you are going to have a ton of subscribers, but 100 views.
Yeah. Well, it's not about really subscribers. It's about the people that really support you.
Exactly.
In every way. Because I mean, like you now, I bet you've got a core of supporters, because all you've got to do is look at the views. And like I've looked at your channel lately, and you are getting roughly about 10% now of your supporters who are commenting on your uploads.
Yes, that's true.
And yet the average is between 8 and 10%. So you are just above the average.
Yeah, I mean, it's about keeping it consistent. Recently, I've decided to take a little break. Going back to work has definitely taken up quite a bit of my time. Yeah. But like I said, there is a lot that I'm working on in the background for my personal channel as well. But yeah, I've got some big plans coming. I just can't say them all.
No, that's all right. So have you gone back into the same field, or have you changed your field of work?
I've gone back to the same field.
Because what you're saying, you're technically minded, you know, are you editing or in the film industry or
I'm actually nothing to do with film at the moment with my personal job. I'm actually a manager of a company. And it takes up quite a bit of my time. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I can't actually say the name of that company.
No, don't worry. You know, it's just
so, that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. So what made you decide to go back into a 9-to-5 job, say?
I guess the thing with editing is you're always stuck in front of a screen. When you work in the editing industry, you always have someone breathing over your neck, giving you many opinions, and they can be quite strict. I think that I think going into the position that I am now is a lot less stressful than what it was. It's easier to deal with. So I guess that's why I took that route. I can separate my job from my hobby, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Tony has asked, why did I start YouTube? Basically, I started YouTube never to make a living from it because of my age, but I just wanted feedback on whether I was a decent videographer and editor, and that still applies. I film things, events, and I go out and make videos. The only thing is, I would like to make a film, a documentary, or a 15, 20-minute film. And that's it. We're joining a community now. We have got the opportunity of doing things like that, I think. I don't know what your opinion of that is, Brad.
I mean, people need to take advantage of what we have right now, because the thing with technology is it's always advancing, and editing is becoming more and more easier as far as I'm concerned. People need to take advantage of their YouTube channels as well, because the way I see it, and I'll go back to gaming with this, if you have two gaming channels, they're both uploading the same video, right?
Yeah.
It's the same game, but two different channels. You're going to watch the person who you prefer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not because of the game they're playing, but because of who you're watching. So rather than, and I say this all the time, people, as much as focusing on your content is definitely an important aspect, focusing on yourself is, I would say, more important, because you're the person that they're going to be watching. So, as long as people like you, they'll like the video.
Yeah, yeah, because that was my philosophy. If you can make a friend of somebody instantly, they'll stay with you. It's like in the selling business. If you make a friend of somebody, they won't think about the fame. The first person they think of is Brad, Keith, or whoever. And if you look after them, and that's the way, really, the community is going. The community is looking after the people who support the community.
Yes.
And so that's the way you grow as a family, isn't it? You
get the team you deserve. That's one thing I live by.
Yeah, yeah. So I've asked you about music. What about films? What type of films do you enjoy watching, Brad, then?
So I really, really like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I can imagine I probably speak on behalf of a lot of people with that. But I guess the main reason as to why I like them is because I like how they get multiple things and then link it into one thing, if that makes sense. Other than that, that's a very good question. I don't like horror movies.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I would watch, but not necessarily keep my eyes open the entire thing. I'll be honest with you, I don't really watch that many movies.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds a little bit strange because of the amount of videography that I do, but I mainly just focus on work on YouTube.
Yeah. So Sylvester Glitter asked, Brad, will you still be supporting other channels in 5 years' time, as well as making money from YouTube?
So this is a very, very common question, and I absolutely love it when I get asked this question. And the reason why is because no one ever believes me.
Yeah.
The thing about YouTube is whenever someone gets big, it's very easy for their ego to go to their head.
Mm.
I'm quite a direct and honest person. So I'm just going to say things as it is, in a polite way. Like, there's no need to be rude, but I am going to just say things as it is. And to answer that question, I've always wanted to become big on YouTube. It's a dream of mine. And I always think to myself, if a bigger YouTuber were to tweet out, say, one of my videos, I would instantly become big, And if I were to become big and then someone were thinking, if he were to tweet out one of my videos, I would become big, then I would definitely do that. At the end of the day, we're all in the same position. Yeah. I have a lot of good friends on YouTube that I would quite happily take with me every step of the way. My subscriber number will not shadow my opinion on other people. I've watched more smaller creators than what I have bigger creators. And because of how, I guess, direct and honest I am, I'm quite stubborn to change as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, my subscriber number isn't going to change how I feel about other people. And if anything, if I become big, then maybe you can come with me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what the community is all about. Anyway, Brad. So the Night Owl asks, who inspires you most on YouTube?
It's a very good question. No one. And the reason why is because if I'm gonna be inspired by someone else, then I'm not fully being myself. That's just my opinion. I know some people look up to people and think I want to be like that person. But my opinion is I want to be like how I want to be.
Yeah, you're an individual. And
so
I
don't have an inspiration.
Yeah. So here's another question that I don't usually ask. But are you a religious type or atheist or what?
I am a agnostic.
Yeah.
And that's a very good question because my opinion on that might trigger a few people.
Yeah.
What are you? Let me ask that question first.
I'm a Christian, religious. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I don't knock any.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's fine. So the reason why I'm an agnostic is because how can I say this without offending anyone? Like, no one knows factually. Like, I could say you're right, I could say you're wrong. But I want to believe it. But because there's no factual evidence, it's hard to believe it.
Yeah.
But if I had to answer honestly, I would say I'm moving towards believing in something rather than not believing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm open to the option. I guess that would be my opinion.
Yeah, which is fair enough. You know, I mean, a lot of people have that opinion. You know, like my brother, he's the same. He goes, well, you know, you prove it to me, but you can't. It's like evolution. You can't prove evolution. Evolution is only a theory. It's not fact. So, but it is taught as a fact in schools. Evolution.
Yes.
But it is. You read, it says the theory of evolution. So if you could meet anybody from any era of time, who would you be most like, or who would you be interested in meeting?
That is a very good question. I would want to meet Robin Williams.
Why?
Because he is a very, very good example of someone who can smile even through the tough times.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic guy. He's done a lot for other people. He's a role model to many. You know, he's a talented guy, and I would have loved to have got the chance to have a conversation with him.
Yeah. Because that's what I would love. You know, if I had the opportunity to have conversations, you know, I'd love to have met Nero. You know, and many older guys from history. This age, I'd love to interview Donald Trump because I think he's a fantastic businessman. I don't agree with his way of being a president, but you know, he knows what he wants. So he's going out and getting it. So I respect anybody like that, although he's caused a lot of problems, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So has anybody got any questions for Brad in the chat window at present? Because I'm just looking because I've got 500 questions here on my iPad that I normally go through. I'm just having a quick look. Oh, okay then. Sporting. Are you a very sporty type of person?
No.
No.
And just to elaborate on that a little bit, I'm quite a busy person.
Yeah.
The closest thing to sport is me going for a walk. I'll watch sports, but I don't have time for participating in it, I guess. And if I were, I'd probably make it into a vlog.
Has he worked out the way? Trollbuster is going on. Have you worked out who Trollbuster is?
Have I worked out?
Go on, Tony, put it in.
I have no idea. Do you know Trollbuster?
No. He's going to reveal himself because we've arranged to meet up a week on Saturday at the Bullring in Birmingham at 12 midday. So any YouTuber is welcome to come, by the way. So what is Brad's biggest inspiration, the Night Owl says?
Haven't we had that question?
Yeah. I thought you'd answered that one.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Yeah, who inspired you then? So if you had to name a clever thing that you have done, what would it be?
A clever thing. God, that is a tough question. I don't do many clever things. I just do. God, that's a good question. I said ask me everything, but wow.
Yeah. Well, I try and get you thinking, you know.
Yeah, wow. Wow. I have no idea. I honestly do not know.
Okay, then go from that then. So what are your strengths as a person?
It's definitely the technical side.
Yeah.
Definitely the technical side.
And the organizational side as well.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be with the job that I'm in. But yeah, it would definitely be things like editing, technical stuff, and that's my massive strong point.
So Tony says, what's your favourite films of any gender, B.T.D, and why?
What's my favourite film? I mean, the last film I watched was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm not obviously going to say anything about it because some people might want to watch it. I thought that was a good film. I know that some people have had mixed reviews, but I guess recently that's the one I've recently watched. It's the one I've recently liked. And I would quite happily watch that again. So I guess I would go with that.
Yeah. So it is one for you, going back a bit. What was your best subject in school?
My best subject in school was graphic design.
Oh, so you're a graphic designer as well then?
Used to be. I did a lot of cover art. I did a lot of box designs for kids' board games.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of concept design for video games as well.
So what particular software did you use mainly?
So I used a lot of Photoshop.
Yeah.
2D design, 3D design. I used Corel Draw 11. That was a very popular one.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the main ones, really.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity now, what particular software would you use now?
In terms of graphic design?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might be a little bit shocked with my answer, but I would choose 2D design.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I am, and I don't want to sound egotistical, but I am very, very good at using 2D design for all the wrong reasons. And my school teacher used to hate me for it because he used to highly encourage people to do 3D models on a 3D software.
Yeah.
I developed all of my 3D models on a 2D software.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So,
if you've got any old school books or whatever, you could show us on your channel on a video.
It's a long time ago, let me tell you.
Yeah. So have you ever used Maya then at all? Or Blender?
No, I haven't. I know of it.
Yeah, or Blender.
Blender, yes, I've used that.
Yeah, and how do you find Blender?
Blender is very easy.
Is it?
Personally.
It's a program that I am trying to get to grips with because, you know, I've always been interested in 3D design and I'd love to make an animation film. So I'm trying to learn, but because I've got an old head, it don't go down too quick.
Yeah, no, the thing about Blender is it looks intimidating. When you understand the basics, everything else just falls into place.
Yeah.
I recognize a lot of the things on Blender going by past experience, but yeah, it's all about keyframes and things like that with Blender.
Yeah. And what editing software do you use then now, Brad?
So I've used all sorts of editing software. I've used a lot of After Effects. I used Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
I use a lot of Sony Vegas. I've been using Vegas for about 9 years. All of my thumbnails actually on my channel is made with Sony Vegas.
Yeah.
So I've never been a fan of using basic editing software.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to get good at something or want to become good at something, throw yourself in the deep end, because everything else is going to look the same with similar icons and things like that.
Yeah.
So Sony Vegas, I would say, is the main one for me.
Yeah. So Vicky's answered your question, Janet. It's a software program to create 3D effects or 3D models or whatever. Very time consuming when you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all right with any video editing because I've used it, like yourself. I've used all of them. Adobe, Edius, Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, all of them. So if you want a 5-minute shopping spree at any store, where would you or your wife or your partner choose?
Well, I'm single.
Oh, yeah.
So let me think. I'm getting feedback here. Is it normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know which one I'd choose, you know, the London Camera Exchange.
Wow.
You know,
I can hear myself twice.
I don't know why that is.
I can hear myself coming through on your thing.
Yeah, I wonder why that is, because, you know, I've got nothing turned on. I've got no other program working. So I just can't understand that.
Strange.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? On YouTube.
I would probably go to does it matter about how much money I have?
No. Don't. I just says in which store, if you had a 5-minute shopping spree, which particular store would you go into?
I would definitely go to a computer shop, like a technical shop store.
Yeah.
And just go mental there.
Yeah. That same with me. You know, that's why I said the London Camera Exchange or something similar, where there was a good choice of camera. I'd like to go to what's the one in the States? B.T.D something it is in New York. That's a brilliant place because I've been there once.
I don't know that one.
Yeah. So besides the hashtag I am a creator community, what other group on YouTube would you like to be a part of? If there is any, because I don't really know that.
I don't know many other communities, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't. You know, that I just thought I'd ask, see if you knew anyone. You know, oh, we've got Angel Munich in. Who else have we got in? Yeah, Janet's still in. So we've still got 15 watching, 17 likes and 1 dislike.
I'm seeing 18 likes.
18. Oh, so yeah, my computer's behind then. So how might you, well, you are doing it. How are you improving your confidence now on YouTube? How are you gone about that, you know?
I mean, I feel like I'm at a position where I don't need to improve my confidence because what you see is who I am.
Yeah.
I don't need to develop that any further. I've got to the point now where I can just be myself.
Yeah.
I've done that already, and that just comes with being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the main thing about editing, going back to that, is I choose, like, you guys don't see what I don't want you to see.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm mainly talking about things like, you know, when I mispronounce words wrong and things like that. But sometimes it's nice to take advantage of that and use it as like a bloopers reel, you know?
Yeah.
And it, you know, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone says a few things wrong. But it doesn't knock my confidence at all.
Yeah. So have you got plans to create a studio where you live?
Yes. Before I, because I moved out at one point and I had my own house and I had my own studio. Obviously I'm back home now, but it's definitely something I'm looking into doing, and I've still got a lot of my studio stuff. My mother hates this, but the upstairs room, as well as our downstairs cupboard, is all filled with cameras, lenses, green screens, lighting, tripods, computers. I've got it all. Obviously, I'm in the corner of a kitchen, so I'm limited to what I can have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I will have 100%.
Yeah. So how many cameras and what cameras have you got then, Brad?
So I've got the 750D Canon. I've got the 6D.
Yeah.
I've got loads of lenses. I've got a Rode microphone on the hot shoe mount, as well as the lighting on a hot shoe mount.
Yeah.
I've also got a separate Rode microphone here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have seen that on most of the live streams that you've joined.
So I've got a lot of stuff. I've got a small little Nikon compact for blogging.
Yeah, and what camera are you using for now?
Right now, I'm actually using a 1080p Logitech webcam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do you ever use the Canons for streaming at all?
No, and the reason why is because I do not have the adapter yet to plug into my computer.
Yeah, because I've got one, but the only trouble is I didn't realise that it didn't work with the, because I've got the Panasonic Lumix range, and it don't work with a Panasonic. Works with Canon, works with Sony, don't work with Nikon, but it works, you know, with the Canon and Sony ranges, but not with the rest until they do a firmware update, which I got in touch with the company and they said they were going to do a firmware update. So I'm still waiting.
You know, you asked me what have I done? Have I done anything clever?
Yeah. Oh, he's got an answer.
I thought my answer, and you've gave me my answer when you told me about my studio, because it reminded me of my previous studio that I had. Yeah. When I used to live in my old house, we had a power cut, and it was in the street as well. No one could see a thing. And my computer studio had lighting everywhere. And it was so bright that it would light up about a quarter of the street.
Cool. Oh, that is brilliant.
So that was quite clever, because no one could see a thing. And I didn't even have to take out the house. I would just turn it all on in my studio and the reflection would just come straight out the window.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is clever then. That's a good answer then. So what particular computer are you on now? A Windows or a Mac based?
Windows. I'm running dual screens. I used to have triple screens. I've got an MSI computer with a 1070 GPU. I'm running 16 gigs of RAM, as well as 2 SSDs and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. I have got a wireless headset that I never use. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup.
Cool. So you have got a good setup then.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you use that just for your YouTube channel, or did you use it when you worked at the BBC?
I've always developed my, I wouldn't say developed, the wrong word to use. I've always built my computers.
Yeah.
Coming from a technical background, I've always wanted to have a decent computer, even if I'm using it for basic use.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it is, if I wanted to go into anything too technical, I can do it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'd love that set. I mean, all I've got is an MSI i7, 16 gig RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and a 256 SSD.
Yeah.
In my MSI laptop. But it does me now for what I have, because I mean, when I was in my business doing the videos, it was all tape to tape, you know, and a Panasonic AV5 mixer. And oh, I tell you what, I wish I had the equipment when I first started back then, because what I've got now, because it was hard work. It used to take me about 60 hours to edit a wedding. You know, get a free camera job, and then you go put the tapes in it, all jog shuttle dial. And when I first started, it was a camera and recorder separate. Oh, that was heavy. And you know, but now I look at what people have got now and the opportunities they've got of going out, even with a phone, and
yes,
and creating something that is going to be remembered years and years later. Because that's why I enjoy interviewing people, because I also go out into the community, and I am at present interviewing 80, 90 year olds in old people's homes, getting their life stories on video. For the simple reason is that when they've gone, all those memories that they've lived through will be lost, unless people like creators of YouTube will go on there and go out and get people's life stories, because we've all got something to tell. Oh, we've got Vane in from Vane's family vlog, another member of the hashtag I am a creator community.
We've got 2 co-hosts here now.
Yeah, Vane, could I arrange an interview with you sometime, please? Because I would love to get to know you. Still to what's this? But I still need to answer your later. I haven't forgot, but I won't answer it out in the open. Message me on Twitter, or that's for Janet. Yeah, not for me. Yeah, and I play dominoes with them on a Friday night. Yeah, and get slightly inebriated, because I know you don't drink, Brad. You know.
No, I don't drink alcohol. I'm probably the first young adult to say that.
No, I respect you for that, because at least you're, you know, like most of the young ones, they work hard all week, they get paid, and they go and.
I'm a very boring person.
No, you're not. If you was.
I don't go into town. I don't go drinking or anything.
The viewers in. Yeah, old mate. Yeah, I want to interview you, Vane, and your family, if that's all right. One Wednesday night, I will arrange it. I will get in touch with you. Kick me off. How did that happen, Donny? So anyway, I'm getting away. So do you consider now, this period in time, yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
That's a good question. Can we come back to that one?
Yeah. By all means, you know, I try to get people to think, and you know. So here's another one then. Which parent are you closest to?
My mother.
Mother or father? Mother. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. My mum is. The best way to describe my mother is she is the most laid back person I've ever met. I mean, what we need to remember is I'm in her kitchen with this isn't like a normal thing, you know. I've got a proper setup in a corner of a kitchen. I don't know any mother that allows that. So she's extremely tolerant. And one thing as well that I massively appreciate is the fact that I only get 2 days off a week, Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, all the family is home, which means that I only get Monday to record videos. My mother will leave the house, even if she's got nothing planned, she will leave the house to give me that time to record videos. And then I'll just edit throughout the entire week. So I'm quite lucky, actually. But at the same time, we definitely do have our massive ups and downs.
Yeah, that's fair enough. At least you've got someone who does support you. I will do, Vane, by the way. So what's been the best phase in your life to date?
Phase. I would say leaving education. I hated education. I hated education because I always thought it was done wrong. You know, it felt like they were forcing information rather than teaching it.
Yeah. So did you leave with any qualifications then?
Yeah, I stayed to the end. But I would never go back into it.
Yeah.
People always say, "Oh, go to uni." No, no, I'm all right.
Yeah. So, well, you know, this is it. You know, I agree with you. I mean, I look at my time in education. I was a bit like you. Couldn't be bothered. I've learnt more since I left it.
Yes,
Education.
exactly.
Things that interest me, I will dig deep in, and I will learn. Like this. When as I said before, when I do an interview, I really research as much as I can about the channel. So I watch roughly 60% of the videos, and I've seen how you've improved as a creator, and then I go in and watch your reactions on other people's live streams that you've been in on the thon, and I see that you are a very organized type of person, you know. So I was looking forward to interviewing you, because at least I've got to know you now as an individual, not just a channel banner. I've got to know you as an individual.
Exactly that, and I appreciate you having me on.
And that's what I enjoyed. But, you know, how do you find being interviewed by a 68-year-old? Because I am an old man.
Well, I don't think a number defines who someone really is. If you really wanted to go deep into your question, age doesn't literally exist. You know, if humans were never a thing, age would never be a word, you know? So everyone grows old naturally. Age is just a number that we've invented so we can keep track of that. So I don't necessarily pay too much attention to age. At the end of the day, we're two people talking, you know? It's an adult conversation. We can have a laugh. You know, I'm all up for having a laugh. So I honestly don't care how old anyone is, to be honest with you, as long as you're not a kid.
Well, this is it. I mean, I would interview children on, you know, I mean, the youngest one I've interviewed is Mark Plays. And I'll tell you what, that was on Saturday night. And I am not usually scared of interviewing anybody, because I can communicate with business people, which I have done in the past, with the lowliest. But Mark Plays, a 15-year-old boy, I was lost, because you're limited to the amount of questions, because he hasn't got life experience. Well, I mean, it's like yourself, 22-year-old, you haven't really had a lot of life experience. So, you know, you've got to be limited in what you can ask, type of thing. But because you are, in my mind, a successful YouTuber now, the way your channel is growing, you know, and I've watched those videos and I thought, very interesting type of person you are, you know, so I can ask you anything and you, as you say, you will answer them. So
I'm quite mature for my age. That's one thing that I get told a lot.
Yeah. So I'm just having a look. So you're 22, you're single. So
yes.
At what age do you think you will settle down with a partner?
It's really something I'm not focusing on. I fell in love at a very, very young age. And that, I guess it's good that I've told you that I'm quite a mature person, because I grew up around a lot of adults, not many children.
Yeah.
So I've always grew up in a mature way. So I took things a lot more serious than, say, anyone else would. And thought logically rather than living in a dreamland. So I actually fell in love at a young age, which obviously ended badly because I'm single. But I'm happy that I've experienced those feelings. I'm happy that I went through what I did, because it's made me who I am today, and it's easier to deal with things. But in terms of relationship, it's definitely something I am not thinking about. If it happens, it happens. But one thing I will say is I am a very specific person. So I guess I'll just leave it there. But
yeah. That's fair enough, because Tony says thought BTD was much older. No, he said when he first came on, he's only 22. And
yep, 22.
Yeah,
it's the beard that makes me look older.
I've got an old head on a young shoulders.
I like that though, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So here's one then. If you're in a bad mood,
yes,
what cheers you up?
So I have depression. I have medication for that. And that's something that I've told a very limited amount of people. But I said I'll answer your question, so why not? But the main way I deal with that is going for walks.
Yeah.
Clearing my head and going for walks is the main thing.
Yeah.
And YouTube actually really helps me out with that as well, because when the camera's on, I feel like it's an expectation and a standard of mine to produce something of quality that I expect. I would never post something that I don't feel is adequate. So when the camera's on, it definitely helps me change how I see things. I immediately forget most things that happens outside of my life, because when, again, the camera's on, my priority is to focus my attention on what I'm creating. Yeah. So that's the easiest way I would deal with it, going for walks and just creating content.
Yeah. So Natasha Flowers is in now. Big Red Bear Australian's in. So I have a question. Oh, Brad, go to Bemi Down Sheffield.
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
now I don't know where that is. It must be in Bristol.
It's right where he lives, actually.
Is it? Yes, because Nick's another one who don't come on camera very often. He has been on camera, but not very often, you know. So I love his sense of humour. So I'd love to see him in front of the camera. So, excuse me. I'm just having a look through my questions. So, travel. Where would you? What's on your bucket list for places to visit?
My main place to visit is America. I've never ever been to America before. It's my main objective. Yeah. I have an uncle that lives in Spain, so I could go there whenever I want. I don't have to worry about accommodation because I could just stay with him. So I do go to Spain quite often, as much as I can. But right now, America is on my mind. And if we're speaking specifically, it would be either Florida, Denver, or LA, because that's where I have a few friends.
Yeah. So would you meet up with James then?
Yeah, I would meet up with James there, definitely.
Yeah, because I forget where he lives now. Oh, bad memory, I tell you. My memory's shocking. So, what is the craziest thing you have ever done in your life?
Oh, this is going to get me in trouble. Okay, so... Okay, so... When I was in college, I used to love house parties.
Yeah.
And back then I did drink alcohol. And I went to a house party in Port Z. And I got massively intoxicated. And in fact, this is the reason why I stopped drinking.
We'll find out some now.
The hangover food is your typical kebab. Yeah. You know? And I was completely out of it. And I said to my mate, I was like, look, I need to eat something. Like, this is going far too bad. So I went, I got a kebab, he came with me. And let me tell you, I could barely walk. It was just absolutely insane. And to answer your question about what the craziest thing I'd done, and to me, this is crazy. I don't know why I decided to do this. But rather than kebab, I was posting bits of it in people's letterboxes.
Oh, bad boy, Brad. Bad boy. And they call me bad boy.
That was a very, 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 very long time ago.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Brad, this might go all around the community, you know.
Yeah. That's fine. But
Oh.
yeah, that is.
Since that episode, is that when you finally stopped drinking?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, after that was the last drink I've ever had.
Yeah, yeah. God, you've done remarkably well then.
I was about 17.
Yeah.
And I'm 22 now, so.
No, not so long ago. So, you know. So there could be.
Oh no, sorry, that's a lie. That's a lie. No, I was 16. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not a massive time ago, but it's still quite a lengthy time to not have alcohol, I guess.
Yeah. So up to date, what is the biggest regret in your life? All these good questions I come out with.
I love these questions. I love them.
Well, I'm different to other people, Brad. You know, I do, you know, I look for questions that nobody asks, because Fuser don't ask these. Fuser Studios doesn't ask these type of questions.
That's a good question. Oh, the biggest regret. I have so many.
Oh, yeah, what the biggest one?
I know. I'm trying to think which one would be the biggest one. Okay, I think I know what my biggest regret is. Don't know if I should say this. Okay, so
you can do the fifth if you want. You can do the Fifth Amendment. I don't mind. Take the fifth.
Okay, so my biggest regret was I guess my biggest regret was who I was when I was a kid. Because as much as I grew up in a very mature background, I was very angry. Yeah. And I wasn't exactly the most amazing person to speak to. And I guess my biggest regret would be I threw someone had a new phone and he was like, "Oh, I love it," and he told me it was waterproof. I was like, "Great, let's test it, man. Like, let's do this right now." And obviously, you know, when you say the phone's waterproof, you know, your typical thought would be, you know, fill up a cup of water, that sort of thing. I dropped it off a bridge and into a river, and he didn't see that phone again. But one thing I will say is I got him that phone again. I bought it for him. Oh. I felt so bad. But yeah, that would be my biggest regret, because he is actually one of my close friends now.
Yeah. So can you see Nick's question?
I have a question. Has he dated any of my stepdaughters? Who are your stepdaughters?
That Nick's got.
I don't know any of his stepdaughters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he says he only lives 4 streets away from you. So the big red bear Australian says, "What's your biggest fear?"
I am claustrophobic.
Mm.
I hate being in cramped spaces. And I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite saying that, because one of my most, well, it's not really a popular video, but I have a video on my channel where I go into a cave and I have to crawl through these really tight spaces. But let me tell you, in my mind, I was absolutely crapping myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very claustrophobic.
Yeah. So, does your current job make you happy? On that, because if anyone's watching, you could get.
That's right. I would say yes and no.
Yeah.
The reason why is because when you get something wrong, you definitely know it.
Yeah.
Massively yes, because of the team that I have. I have a fantastic team.
Yeah.
And I couldn't actually ask for better. And I'm quite happy that they're not watching this, because I would never tell them that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. I don't think I'd be in a position I was at work if it wasn't for them. So I'm very grateful with the team that I have, and that's what encourages me to go to work every day.
Yeah. And have you seen what Janet's put?
You could date my daughter. I have no idea who your daughter is.
Yeah, you'll have to send him a picture, Janet. You know, a photo of her.
This has suddenly turned into a live Tinder chat.
Yeah, yeah, a dating agency now. You know.
Or do I swipe?
Yeah. So, what are 3 things you value most in a person?
These questions are going to get me judged. See, this is where the real me comes out.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying.
I love you, man, for this. Nah, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to say the first one off the bat, and when I say this, there are going to be a lot of people disagree with me when actually they secretly do agree with me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to dating, I would say that looks is the first one. And instantly people are like, oh, looks doesn't matter. It's like, I'm sorry, but before you've even spoken to them, your mind is automatically made a decision how they look. That's just fact. Basic psychology, which I did study. So that, they have to be fun. I hate boring people. And they have to hold a conversation. Because if you're speaking to someone who doesn't want to speak to you back, there's really no point. And they have to understand my humor, because my humor can get quite deep.
Yeah, yeah. So, Catfish Jones has just come in. Hello, Catfish Jones.
Hello.
Nice to have you in here. So, here's one then. If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be and why?
Okay. See, now I have to answer this question, because if I say I don't know, I'm going to look like the most egotistic person on the planet.
Well, there's always something that somebody could always change about themselves. Mine is that I close my eyes when I'm thinking about what question to ask. And I keep on trying to work on that, Brad, you know, so that's one of my things that I would love to change.
Okay, that makes me think of one, actually. It's not a massive thing. This is a bit of a boring answer, to be honest with you, but I would change when I do this. So if you see me do this with my earphones, it means I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's like me, you can't see my hands, but when I get nervous, I start going like that.
Yeah.
It's something that but that's one thing I have got to say. I am not a very negative or nervous type of person. I get on with 99% of people. I never fall out. I would rather say sorry, even if I'm not in the wrong.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Because I don't like causing conflict. It's a short life and it upsets you. So I always try to look at the positive things in life.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
I don't know who your best friend is, but what would your best friend say is your best quality?
My best friend would say that my best quality is, I think that person would say, I know what it is, but I'm trying to think of the word that I know that they have used. I want to say dedication, but it's not the word that they used.
Yeah.
But it means sort of the same thing. Because I will make it my absolute priority to be there for my best friend. And literally nothing else would matter. Like, because as far as I'm concerned, the reason why someone is your best friend is because you get on with them most. You know, they understand everything about you. You understand everything about them. and it's something you relate to. And it's extremely rare I've come across that. So I would definitely put my best friend first before anything. And I think that that's one thing that that person would say is the amount of care you have, I guess.
Yeah, this is it. Hangouts is playing up again because it's going real quick. Yeah, you know, even when I'm not talking, it's keeps on changing. Hello, Choppers Roll 1. So I'm going to finish with one more question then, because it's now 11:20. It's getting a bit late for me because I'm driving down to Sittingbourne early in the morning.
Right.
So what food could you not live without?
Like a category or something specific?
Anything.
I'm a meat eater.
You're what type of food do you prefer?
I love steak. Love steak. And yes, Janet is absolutely right. Loyalty. Loyalty is the word I was thinking of.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Thank you for that. Yeah, loyalty was the word I was 100% thinking of. Yeah, I love steak. Steak is my main thing.
Yeah, rare, medium rare.
I am a medium rare.
Yeah. Oh, same as me, Brad. So anyway, everybody in the chat, I'm going to finish the live stream now. The interview with Brad. Really appreciate Brad being on here tonight. So
thank you for having me.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the people in the chat then?
I guess the main thing is interaction, and I love that about live streams. And that's actually another one of my fears, is going to a live stream that I'm hosting and no one turns up, because you're essentially speaking to yourself. So I just want to thank everyone for turning up. It's really appreciative of you guys to come here, and I love your interaction. There's a lot of people that I recognize in that chat, so I'm super happy to see them as well. Burn being one of them, you know, White Owl, Donnie, that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks for your questions. I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me on. I don't do many of these interviews, but I'm glad I was able to make this one, because I've had a good time, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Brad, then. So I'm going to say good night to you. Stay on, by the way, Brad. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.